Good evening, everybody. We will start our today's presentation session. Please raise your hand who have scheduled their presentation for today. Okay, so Harsh Kumar, you can start.
Sure, sir. Just a second.
Yeah.
Uh, Screen sharing has been disabled, sir. Can you please turn?
Just a second. Just a second. It's enabled. You can start.
Okay, sir. Just a second.
Was your presentation scheduled for today?
Yes, sir. It was scheduled for today.
Okay. You can start.
So good evening, everyone. Am I clearly audible, sir?
Yes, you are.
Okay. So good evening, everyone. So today we'll be seeing the presentation about plotting trend lines on HDFC Bank dataset using Python, Matplotlib, and other useful libraries. So let's get started. So first of all, before I tell you anything, let me tell you a brief story. Suppose you are a financial analyst and you want to study the whole stock patterns and what all are these. You work for a company and you want to know which share you should just suggest buying and which shares or the stocks you shouldn't. So when you have the basic knowledge of Python, Matplotlib, you can actually use the computational power of these modern computers and actually plot these lines using different regressions. You don't have to manually do that these days. And for today, we'll be seeing the demonstration of linear regression model for it. So it will really be useful and it will give a boost to your career. So why not? Let's get started with it. So moving to the introduction part, our objective will be to plot the trend lines on HDFC Bank stock data. This data I will be explaining and opening in a few minutes, but let me give you a brief. We are only interested in the closing values of the stock for a given set of points that we have. And the importance of visualizing these trends have been evergreen, as we want to know if the stock will go up or down. And the tools and libraries that I will be using are Python Pandas, Matplotlib, and Skitlearn regression model, more specifically. So talking about the dataset overview, I have collected or downloaded the HDFC Bank stock data in CSV format that we can see actually in Excel. So let me just share the screen with you all. So yeah, so this is actually the data that I have collected, and as you can see, we have the date. This is the symbol or the token value, but more importantly, we are interested in the closing row. That is the row having the closing stock value of each share over a given period of data points. So let's just continue. So this was my data set, and we'll be selecting the date and close value, representing them on the X and Y axis, and just applying the model. So, and what model we'll be applying? We'll be using the linear regression model. And as you can as we all can just figure out from our very intuition that if we want, suppose if we want an object and an object below it cost us 4 rupees, an object above just better than that cost us 6 rupees, and if our object is somewhere in the middle, like it has attributes somewhere in the middle, then it's a general tendency that it should cost 5 rupees. It may or may not, it's not 100% accurate, but it's our general tendency. And when we just expand these writing in the form of a mathematical expression and using some other constants, we tend to obtain this regression model, right? So what we'll be doing, we'll be plotting the trend line. How? Let's see. So actual closing prices and predicted line are plotted separately in the form of blue and red dashed lines. So, and we'll be extensively using the Matplotlib library for visualization of data. And we can, of course, customize the options. How can we? Let's see. So we can just set the figure size, that what is the height and width of my figure. Styles and colors, we can, of course, change that. Axis labels, what the x and y axis should be called, and we can introduce grids. So let's talk about the result and interpretation. So when we'll just let me just minimize this. Yeah. So uh, when we'll just see the result, uh, it will show only the actual closing prices of the bank over a period of time along with the trend line. But the interpretation will be the x-axis represents the time with the earliest date on the left and the last on the right. That is, it will be increasing from left to right as a normal x-axis, and the y-axis will be the closing point of our data sets, and the blue line will be the actual one, and the red dashed line will be the one predicted by our linear regression model. So this is, and some terms, the closing point price, like in the whole day, share price just fluctuates throughout the day, but we will be only considering the closing point, right? To closing price, right? And the trend line and the regression model, I already talked about linear regression it is. So let's dive deep and just see how our code works. So actually, this is the project, and as you can see, it is a not quite complicated one. I have opened the project in my this library, sorry, in VS Code, and let's run. Let's simply uh, just uh, run our app.py. So what it will do, let me just briefly go through the code. So as we are collecting the data sets using the pandas, the date, and we are sorting the data values by the date, and we are applying the regression model. As you can see, it is linear regression that I talked about. And this is the matplotlib library. And our code has finally resolved the solution. As we can see, we have collected the data for whole of the 20 years. And this is the trend line of the stock. As we can see, it was on its peak somewhere around 2010-ish. Then again, the market went down, and we can see in the COVID wave, this market dropped there. So this was basically it. The red dashed line is the basically our regression model. As one can see, like from the zoom out point of view, if we aren't interested on the middle values that is there between the year 2000 and 2020, if someone wants to interpret the data how it behaves, it will be like the red line. So this was it. And as you can see, it is a short code. So let's move further. So any questions are welcome, but and I have also pinned my GitHub repo in which the code is there, so you can ask all the questions there also. And I'm waiting to take any questions here. I guess it's no, so let's move further. So these are the references of the important libraries that you will be using, and some other important resource, useful resource for making this project, right? So you can just go through and check. And thank you everyone. Any feedback is welcome. So that was all from my side. Thank you.
Are you done, Harsh?
Yes, sir. I'm done.
I have few questions.
Yes, sir.
How many type of plots can it generate? Graphs.
So right now it's only using the linear regression model. So
Okay.
yeah, but it can like change the close, like it can change some customization, like we can change the axis title, some colors, but like basically depends on the regression model that we chose. If we choose some other regression model, then the plot will be dependent on that. For example, if we chose the, like let me uh, like if we chose some exponential or other some model, we can definitely generate the plots depending on the model that we choose.
Okay. Your explanation was good. You had a good grip. Your story was nice. Everything else was very good. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Should
Next
I?
is, yeah, you can stop sharing.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Next is Mohammad. Mohammad, you can start.
My screen visible?
Yes, it's fine. Yes.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Mohammad Saim. I'm from the Data Engineers Group, and my today's presentation topic is overview for the project Synopsis for stock market investing. So this is actually the inception week or the first week of a 2-month project. And in the first week, we actually have to give a presentation on how we are going to approach this problem. So this is not an implementation presentation. This is just an like overview of what we are going to do in the upcoming weeks. So let's get into it. Um, so let's see first, like what will be the contents of the presentation. First, we'll see what the objective of the project is. Then we will see what type of dataset exploration techniques we can use. Then we'll move on to some feature engineering techniques. Then we will see like what models are like optimized for this type of like dataset. And then we'll talk about how we can actually deploy a model to actually like demonstrate the practicality of our project. And then we will discuss some evaluation metrics on which our model can be scored so that we know how good our model is. And finally, we'll conclude with a conclusion. So coming to the aims and objectives, so the aim for this whole project is that we have to develop a machine learning solution for predictive modeling for stock market investing. So whoever wants to like get into like stock market investing and wants to know like what will be the future prices will be or what will be the opening prices for the next day, they can actually use like machine learning solutions to help them. And the objective of this is to like we have to predict future market trends and like will the like for example a particular stock will go up or will go down or will remain the same for like next day or like the next week. We can actually use this whole use the host technology to like employ it. And finally, like what will be the approach? As I said before, we will be using supervised machine learning algorithms and some feature engineering techniques to like counter this problem. So like let's understand through a simple example, or you can say a story. So for example, let's say you there is a small startup who wants to go into like stock market investing and want to like predict like what will be the next price, next day price, or the next peak price for the particular stock. So what they can actually do is they're a relatively new company. They don't actually know how to like actually go with it. So what they do is they can actually hire a team which are like particular in their predictive modeling. They have an expertise in predictive modeling. So once they have hired that particular team, what they can do is like they can actually take in some machine learning algorithms, take some like particular features, for example, what season it is, and like what is the sentiment around the particular stock, etc. And based on that, they can actually produce a result for the next day, the next week, or the upcoming month. So based on that, like the company can actually employ like what will be the upcoming stock for their investors or for their whole company also. And based on that, like if the prediction is good, that will lead to like a better profits for the company. So this was just like a small story of like how it can be used in like a real life. So coming to the data set collection part, so like I scraped through like the like what are the available data sets, and like these are the four which I have mentioned, which is the Yahoo Finance, 12 Data, Alpha Vantage, and FinStep Stocks API. So 12 Data, Alpha Vantage, and FinHub Stocks API, these three are actually APIs that are called from their like respective website and then scraped so that we can actually use a real-time data set. Yahoo Finance, on the other hand, is actually also a Python library. That means we can actually just download and import in our code so that we can actually make particular revelations based on the particular data set. So based on that, like the best optimized, I would say if we are working in Python only is Yahoo Finance, because just a direct library, you just install and use it. The problem with APIs is that they may be free, they may cost us something. So best is I guess to go with Yahoo Finance. Now coming to like once we have collected the data set, what will be the pre-processing techniques that we can employ? So first will be to check through the whole historical data set. That means historical data set, I mean is not like a data which is like 20 or 30 years old. By historical data set means like the very recent trend of the particular stock up till today or up till yesterday. So that is the historical data set in in our context. So we need to see that if that particular data set has any null and duplicate values, and in case if it has, we can actually remove them by like employing like categorical variable encoding and like some other procedures like using just the Python library to remove it. So we do not actually have like some data which is missing or is a redundant data. Second is time alignment. So because like we will be taking the stock based on like some particular time period, we need to have them sorted based on like when was the stock actually released, or like when it actually went public to the time like up till like yesterday or like a week before, so that it is actually in an increasing order and not in a very arbitrary manner. Third is irregular sample data set. It may also include like outliers. For example, like you have like 5 to 10 values which are like very like close to each other, and then there is one value which is like very arbitrary, like very high or very low. So we do not actually want, because it will just like hinder with our machine learning model. So that is like treating with the irregular sample data set. Now coming to that, we have taken the data set, we have pre-processed it. Now let's consider some feature engineering process. So feature engineering actually is either creating new features or like making some modifications to the present features so that the machine learning model is more optimized to work with them. So first is the moving averages, is that see the long term and short term dependencies of the whole stock, and then we actually normalize it on one basis. Second is calendar feature. This is something very important. So this is like dividing the whole data set based on weeks, month, or like a quarter or an year. The reason we are doing it, we want to see actually trend like by week how much the stock goes around, or like by month how much it varies. So this is something which can be very helpful in like exploratory data analysis if you want to see like how much the stock is fluctuating. And third is taking in consideration the market sentiment, that how others feel about like how the stock's going to perform. For example, like if the owner of a particular stock is like very active, very famous, and he tweets about them or post about your his or her stock regularly on social media or on some other platforms, people are more inclined towards reacting positively towards it. So this is something we need to actually take care of. Now we have actually taken feature engineering. Feature selection, on the other hand, is extracting the relevant features which are the best optimized for our model. So first is correlation analysis. So like given all the features, we will take upon like what will be the best features for our data set. Mutual information is seeing like what are the relationship and what is the information that we can actually pick up from the dependent variables and the target variable that we're predicting. So the target variable, as it's a stock price prediction, is like the opening prices for the next day or the closing prices for the next day. And third is recursive feature elimination. So we can actually delete or like remove or like neglect those feature values which are not particularly relevant to us. For example, there may be a feature which does not contribute to like any type of machine learning model that we're training. So this also can be treated using feature selection. Now coming to the model training. So in our particular task, we are advised to go with supervised learning algorithms. That is like having on a continuous data set, and we were given on like linear regression, distant trees, and random forest. So linear regression is like the most simple regression of all types. It assumes a linear relationship between them, and it actually predicts, it actually takes in like the continuous values of any type of data and predicts a particular variable. Decision trees is like a tree-based model which has nodes and some nodes and branches. So nodes are actually conditions, and branches are like what will be the splitting will be. And finally, the random forest, like in short, are like a combination of decision trees, like a multiple decision trees combined together. And the result of the decision tree is voted, or like there is a majority voting. So like they can be split up into like n different parts. But like for example, like if we are taking random forest, we take n is equal to 50. From like my experience, what I have seen working with random forest. So based on the values of the decision tree which they throw out, random forest picks out the most frequent, or like the which has the majority vote, and goes ahead with them. So coming to the evaluation part, like once we have trained a model, what will be the evaluation on how metrics what that will be evaluating? So first is like the mean squared error, that actually is the difference, root difference between the predicted value and the actual value. R squared actually takes in like what will be the variance with the particular data, and mean absolute percentage error is just like the mean squared error, just like we are actually calculating the percentage of it. So as to see like how much error it is deviating from the actual data. Now coming to the final part, which is like the fourth week of this project will be the model deployment. So for model deployment, I've chosen Streamlit for the deployment part. Reason being, we are working on a machine learning application, and Streamlit is actually designed for that only. So it is a hosting website which actually streams on like whatever machine learning model we have, and it actually gives us a landscape or a framework already. So we do not actually have to go into like the HTML, CSS, and the backend part. Of course, like if we want some very high level or high ended application to work with, we can of course configure it. But like Streamlit actually gives us a template already to work with. And finally, when our application is complete and like it has been demonstrated, we can actually deploy that application onto the cloud. So Streamlit actually also has a cloud on itself. So coming to the conclusion part, we analyze like what was the problem that was given to us, and like the stock market prediction and how many ways we can approach it. And we saw like many data pre-processing part, feature engineering part, feature selection parts that can be applied to like these particular data sets. So these are like real-time time series data set. That's why we need to be very careful with what feature engineering process that we are actually employing. And finally, like the given supervised machine learning algorithms, which were given in our task, which was the random forest, linear regression, distant trees. So we employ them and we make a comparison between them, like which will perform the best, and whichever is performing the best, we will actually like go ahead with it to like deploy it on a Streamlit application. So thank you. That's all, and questions are welcome.
Are you done?
Yes.
I have a few questions.
Sir.
There is no demonstration in this, right?
No, in this we actually just have to give a presentation only.
It's
In the
mostly
coming
theoretical.
Yes, sir.
No, okay. So try to add some pictures, or graphs related to that matter or material.
Yes.
Because all I can see in the slides is just text, pure text. So it will just distract some, because only what now, if you have only text, people will get bored of that. So for a better communication, try to add pictures, and everything else was good. Your flow was good. Okay. Next we have Rakhi. Sam, yeah, you can stop sharing this. Rakhi, your presentation was scheduled for today, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you can start.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, you can start.
So, my name is Rakhi. My project name is Cloud-Based Investment Platform and task allotted to me project curriculum, and I belong to Cloud Computing Group. So this is the content of my task. First is cloud computing, deployment model, services of cloud computing, architecture of cloud computing, characteristics of cloud computing service providers, cloud computing in stock market investing, AWS services for cloud-based stock market investment, challenges in using cloud computing, conclusion, and last is conclusion. So first is cloud computing. So before and after cloud computing. So before the cloud computing, there was a client server cloud computing, which is basically a centralized storage in which all the software applications, data, and all the services control are related to on the service. Before, if you have a single user to access specific data to run a program, user need to connect the server and their appropriate access, and then user can do a business. And in this and today we can connect everything digitally to cloud computing. It provides whole new jobs, applications, servers, and services and platforms. We can see the future of cloud computing in combination of cloud-based products and on-premises compute, which help to create hybrid IT solution. Cloud is scalable and reliable, which provides security features to control over the data center. So let's move on cloud computing. So what is cloud computing? Cloud computing is the on-demand availability of compute resources as a services over the internet with pay-as-you-go pricing. With instead of buying or maintaining physical data centers and servers, you can access technology such as such as computing power, storage, databases on the needed basis from a cloud provider like Amazon Web Services. Let's move on next slide. So next is deployment model. So there are 4 types of deployment models. First is public cloud, second is private cloud, third is hybrid cloud, fourth is community cloud. So first is public cloud. Basically, a public cloud is used to store and access information through the internet using the pay-per-use method. In a public cloud, computing resources are managed and operate by the cloud service provider. Example of public cloud is Amazon Elastic Compute Cloud, IBM, and Windows Azure Service Platform. Second is private cloud. Private cloud is used to design it is used by the organization to maintain and to manage and build their own data centers entirely by the third party. It can be deployed open source for such as OpenStack. Based on these locations, National Institute of Standard Technology, private cloud has 2 types: on-premise private cloud and outsourced private cloud. Third is hybrid cloud. Hybrid cloud is the combination of both public and a private cloud. Example of hybrid cloud is Google application like Gmail, Google Apps, and Google Drive, and Amazon Web Service. Last is community cloud. Community cloud allows systems and service to be accessible by a group of several organizations to share information between the organization and a special community. It is owned, managed, and operated by one or more organization in the community. Next slide. Let's move on next slide. So this is all about the deployment models: public cloud, private cloud, hybrid cloud, or community cloud. Next is services of cloud computing. So there are 3 types of services of cloud computing. First is IaaS, second is PaaS, third is SaaS. So first we discuss about IaaS. IaaS stands for infrastructure as a service. It is also known as a hardware service. In this computing infrastructure managed over the internet. The main advantage of infrastructure as a service, it helps user to avoid the cost and complexity of purchasing and managing the physical server. Example of infrastructure as a service is Elastic Compute Cloud, Microsoft Azure, Google Compute Engine. Second is PaaS. PaaS stand for is platform as a service. Platform as a service is created for the programmer to develop, test, run, and manage the application. Example of a platform as a service is the AWS, Elastic, Beanstalk, Google App Engine, etc. Third one is SaaS. SaaS stand for software as a service. Software as a service. In this software in which the application are hosted by the cloud service provider, user can access these applications with the help of internet connection and web browser. Example of SaaS is Gmail, Trello, Office 365, Google Docs, and etc. So this is a package software which include application, data, runtime, middleware, operating system, virtualization, servers, storage, and networking. In infrastructure as a service, application, data, runtime, middleware, operating system are managed by user, and virtualization, server, storage, networking are managed by AWS. And platform as a service, application and data are managed by user, and others are managed by AWS. In software as a service, all these are managed by AWS. So let's move on. Next slide, cloud computing architecture. So cloud computing architecture. So as we know, cloud computing is used by both small and a large organization to store the information in cloud to access from anywhere at any time using the internet connection. Cloud computing is a combination of service oriented architecture and event driven architecture. Cloud computing architecture include two types, front end and back end. Front end means front end type is used by the client. It contains client side interface and applications that are required to access the cloud computing platform. The front end includes web servers like Firefox, Internet Explorer, and in this backend, the backend is used by the service provider and it manages all the resources that are required to provide the cloud computing services. It includes huge amount of data, storage, security mechanism, virtual machines, deploying models, and servers. And cloud computing architectures are three components. So first is client infrastructure, second is application, and third is service. So client infrastructure. Client infrastructure is a front-end component. It provides graphical user interface to interact with the cloud. Second is application. The application may be any software or a platform that client want to access. And the last is service. A cloud service manage that which type of service you can access to the client requirement. Let's move on. Next slide. So next is characteristics of cloud computing. There are 6 characteristics of cloud computing. First is agility, scalability, availability and reliability, cost, speed, and last is security. So first we discuss about on agility. Agility means the cloud works in a distributing computing environment. It shares resources among user and it works very fast. Second is scalability. Cloud has high scalability. Cloud offers on-demand provisioning of users on a large scale. And third is availability and reliability. Cloud has high availability and more reliable because the chance of the infrastructure failure are minimum. Fourth is cost. Cost by using cloud computing, it reduce the cost will be reduced because to take the server of the cloud computing. Next, fifth is speed. Resources are accessed in minutes within a few clicks. Last is security. Many cloud vendors offers a broad set of policies, technologies, and controls that are our data security. So next slide is service providers. So there are the many service providers. So first is Amazon Web Services. Second is IBM Cloud, Microsoft Azure, Oracle Cloud, Alibaba Cloud, Google Cloud platforms. Last is Salesforce. So first we discuss about Amazon Web Service. So Amazon Web Service is a cloud computing platform, and it is the best way for providing on-demand access to cloud computing power, storage, database analysis, artificial intelligence, and machine learning. Second is Microsoft Azure. Microsoft Azure is a cloud computing platform provided by a Microsoft. It offers a wide range of services for individuals and enterprises, allowing them to build, deploy, and manage application in the cloud. And third one is IBM Cloud. IBM Cloud is an open source, faster and more reliable platform. It is built with a suite of advanced data and AI tools. It offers various services like infrastructure as a service, software as a service, and a platform as a service. You can access its services like compute power, cloud data analytics, and cloud use cases. Fourth is Oracle Cloud. Oracle Cloud is offered by a Oracle Corporation. It combines platform as a service, infrastructure as a service, software as a service, and a data as a service infrastructure. Data as a system. Data as a service with cloud infrastructure. It is used to perform the task as moving application to the cloud, managing deployment environment in the cloud, and optimize connection performance. Fifth is Alibaba Cloud. Alibaba Cloud is used to develop data management and highly scalable cloud computing resources. It offered various services including elastic computing, storage, networking, security, and many more. Sixth is Salesforce. Salesforce offer cloud-based CRM, customer service, marketing, automation, sales, and much more. Their customer relationship tools can help you grasp a data-driven approach for a business. Last is Google Cloud Platform. Google Cloud Platform is a product of a Google. It consists of a set of physical devices such as computers, hard disk, and a virtual machine. It also helps organizations to simplify the migration process. Let's move on next slide. So cloud computing in stock marketing investing. So first we discuss about stock market. Stock market is basically a type of investment. In this, investors buy and sell share of companies. It is a set of exchanges where companies issue share and other security for trading. For example, if company has 1 lakh shares and you buy 1,000 of them, you own 1% of the company. Sorry. So cloud computing has enabled the automation of many tasks such as data and risk management. Real-time data allows investors to make better informed decisions. So let's move on next slide. AWS services for cloud-based stock market investment. These are the main services used for cloud-based stock market investments. So first is AWS S3, second is Amazon Athena, third is Data Exchange, fourth is AWS Glue, fifth is Amazon SageMaker. So first is AWS S3. S3 stands for Simple Storage Service. Amazon Simple Storage Service is a scalable, high-speed, web-based cloud storage service. It provides a 99.99 means 11.9 of durability, which in Amazon Simple Storage Service includes a data storage, data archiving, data backup, software delivering mobile application, and many more. Second is Amazon Athena. Amazon Athena, it is easy to analyze data in Amazon S3 using standard SQL. Athena is a serverless service, so there is no infrastructure to manage. Third one is Data Exchange. Data Exchange means it allows providers to import and store data from their Amazon S3 buckets. Fourth is AWS Glue. AWS Glue is a serverless data integration and ETL service that makes discovering, preparing, and combining data from the data analysis, machine learning, and application development simple. Amazon Glue consists of 3 components. Names are the AWS Glue data catalog and ETL engine that creates Python or Scala code automatically. Last is Amazon SageMaker. Amazon SageMaker is a managed service to the Amazon Web Service public cloud. It provides the tools to build and train and deploy machine learning models for predictive analytics application. Let's move on next slide. So challenging in using cloud computing. So there are 5 challenging to use a cloud computing. So first is data security, second is data privacy, third is dependence on service providers, fourth is integration and compatibility, last is latency and performance issue. So first is data security. In cyber security, threats like data breaches and cyber attacks only lead to significant data to undermine trust in cloud-based systems. While cloud service providers implement robust security measures, maintaining data integrity and security in face of evolving the threats remains considerable challenge. Second is data privacy. Data privacy is another critical issue in cloud computing. It regulatory requirements related to the handling of personal and financial data vary globally, and cloud service provider must must with these regulations. Third is dependence on service providers. With the cloud computing, there is a significant dependence on service providers for continuous service and support. Any technical issue or downtime or on the providers and can disrupt access to critical make data. Fourth is integration and compatibility. While cloud service offers many advantages, integrating them with the exciting systems applications can be challenging. Compatibility issues may especially with older legacy systems. Last is latency and performance. Latency and performance in real-time data analysis and a decision-making are critical. Latency and pose a significant problem. Although cloud computing generally enhance accessibility and processing speed, network issue or server downtimes can cause lags impacting the performance of a real-time analytics. Let's move on next slide. This is the conclusion part. So cloud computing is used to across the globe to make the work of professional easier and more efficient, and with advantages such as a reliable setup and reduced cost. And second is by managing the challenges related to the cloud computing, one can successfully trade back test and find the right strategy for implementation in different situations in the market. Although it has its fair share of benefits and challenging in trading, cloud computing is evolving, improving, or tracing towards becoming the next big thing in the world of technology and finance. Last is Amazon S3, Athena, AWS Glue Data Exchange, and Amazon SageMaker is used to quickly and easily import data. So this is the reference slide. So these are the reference links. If you have any question, please ask me. For any query, please contact me. Thank you. I'm done, sir.
Okay, I have few questions. What type of cloud service is Amazon? Is a PaaS or IaaS?
Sir, repeat karna.
What type of Amazon is a cloud service provider? PaaS or IaaS?
Cloud service providers.
Yeah. No. What type of Amazon? Is Amazon a PaaS or IaaS?
Amazon. Both.
Yeah, correct. Okay. Which one is the biggest one? Service providers, cloud service providers. Yeah. From this one, which one is the biggest one? Or you can say largest one, largest service provider.
Amazon Web Service.
Yes. Okay. Your explanation was good, but it was like you were reading from somewhere. And
No, sir.
and I know you are not reading, you learned everything. I know that by look, but try to make it look natural.
Okay, sir.
It was like you were reminding it and then saying it.
Okay,
So try
sir.
to look at it and try to explain it calmly. You are
Okay,
not
sir.
in a hurry here.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Everything else was good. And try to add a small story.
Okay, sir.
And next we have Rinki. Rinki, you can start your presentation.
Sir, is my screen visible to you?
Yes.
May I start now?
Yeah, you can start.
So, greetings everyone. My name is Rinki and I am from Cloud Computing Department. My project name is Cloud Engineering Internship Program and the task name is Create Elastic Beanstalk Environment. So, move to the next slide. That is table of content. We discuss in this presentation. That is introduction to Elastic Beanstalk, then component of Elastic Beanstalk, the architecture of Elastic Beanstalk, then benefits of Elastic Beanstalk, then demonstration, and is difference between EC2 and Elastic Beanstalk, and in the last conclusion. So move to the next slide. First we have, what is Elastic Beanstalk? Amazon Web Services comprises over 200 services, each of which exposes an area of functionality, while the variety of service offers flexibility for how you want to manage your AWS infrastructure. It can be challenging to figure out which service to use and how to provision them. With Elastic Beanstalk, you can quickly deploy and manage application in the AWS cloud without having to learn about the infrastructure that runs those applications. Elastic Beanstalk reduces management complexity without restricting choice or control. You simply upload your application and Elastic Beanstalk automatically handles the details of capacity, provisioning, load balancing, scaling, and application health monitoring. Elastic Beanstalk supports application developed in .NET, PHP, Python, Docker, Ruby, and many more. So move to the next slide. That is components of Elastic Beanstalk. Application versions, environment configuration, and saved configuration and platform. These are the components of Elastic Beanstalk. First, we discuss about application. Amazon Elastic Beanstalk application is a logical collection of Elastic Beanstalk components, including environments, environment configurations, and versions. In Elastic Beanstalk, an application is conceptually similar to a folder. Next is application version. An application version of Amazon Elastic Beanstalk refers to a specific labeled iteration of deployable code for a web application. An application version point to an Amazon Simple Storage Service, means Amazon S3 object that contains the deployable code such as Python var file. Next is environment. An environment is a collection of AWS resources running on application version. Each environment runs only one application version at a time. Still, you can able to run the same application version or different application version in many environments simultaneously. Next is environment configuration. An environment configuration determines a collection of parameters and settings that define how an environment and its associated resources behave. When you update an environment's configuration settings, it automatically applies the changes to existing resources or deletes and deploy new resources depending on the changes you made. Next, we discuss about saved configuration. A saved configuration is a template that you can use as a starting point for creating unique environment configuration. You can create and modify saved configuration and apply them to environment using the Elastic Beanstalk console, AWS CLI, or API. And in the last, we discuss about platform. A platform is a combination of an operating system, programming language runtime, application server, web server, and Elastic Beanstalk components. It provides a variety of platforms on which you can build your application. These are the components of Elastic Beanstalk. In next slide, we discuss about the architecture of an Elastic Beanstalk. Elastic Beanstalk environment, Elastic Load Balancer, Auto-Scaling Group, EC2 instances, Host Manager, Security Groups. These are the architecture of Elastic Beanstalk. First, we discuss about Elastic Beanstalk environment. It is the container for this unique version of application, and it provides the CNAME and URL entry point for user to access the application. Next is Elastic Load Balancer. Elastic Load Balancer distributes HTTP requests to the EC2 instance that have been provisioned within the environment. Next is Auto-Scaling Group. The Auto-Scaling Group will scale in and scale out the number of EC2 instances that exist within the environment based on traffic load. You can specify how many EC2 instances you want to start with and how you will allow the autoscaler to initiate within the settings of an elastic beanstalk environment. Next is EC2 instances. The EC2 instances are the compute images that run your workloads. Elastic Beanstalk will suggest the size and type of EC2 instance. However, you can manually change these instances types to increase or decrease CPU capacity and reserved memory should you anticipate higher or lower compute power will be required to adequately provide acceptable application performance for your users. And next is the host manager. The host manager is present on each of your EC2 instances and is responsible for monitoring and reporting on the performance of your application, reports on resources instance level in events, and sends logs to your CloudWatch dashboard. And next is security group. A new security group will be provisioned for an Elastic Beanstalk application environment, which will allow HTTP access to your application. Using the modify setting Elastic Beanstalk dashboard, you can allocate additional security group or an existing VPC to your web server environment. Next is how does AWS Elastic Beanstalk works. You can construct an application using Elastic Beanstalk, upload an application version in the form of an application code bundle, and then provide some information about the program. The AWS resources required to run your code are automatically created and configured by Elastic Beanstalk. You can manage your environment and roll out new application version once your environment is launched. Next is benefits of Elastic Beanstalk. Fast and simple to deploy, scalable, developer productivity, complete infrastructure control. These are some benefits of Elastic Beanstalk. First, we talk about the fast and simple to deploy. It is the most straightforward and time-efficient method of deploying your application on AWS. You simply upload your application using the AWS Management Console, a Git repository, or an integrated development environment, such as Eclipse or Visual Studio, and it handles the deployment details of capacity provisioning, auto-scaling, load balancing, and application health monitoring. Your application will be ready to use in minutes with no infrastructure or resources configuration required on your behalf. Next is scalable. Using simply changeable auto-scaling settings, it automatically scales your application up and down based on its needs. For example, you use CPU utilization measurement to initiate auto-scaling operation. This allows your application to accommodate spikes in workload or traffic while minimize cost. Next is developer productivity. Amazon Beanstalk Elastic provision and operates the infrastructure and manage the application stack for you, so you don't have to spend the time or develop the expertise. It also keeps the underlying platform running your application up to date with the latest patches and updates. So you can focus on writing code rather than spending time managing and configuring servers, load balancer, database, firewalls, and networks. And next is complete infrastructure control. You are free to select the AWS resources such as Amazon EC2 instance type that are optimal for your application. Additionally, it lets you open the hood and allow you to have full control over these AWS resources, powering your application. If you decide you want to take over some of the elements of your infrastructure, you can do seamlessly by using Amazon Elastic Beanstalk management capabilities. So move on to the next slide, that is demonstration. I would like to give a live demonstration. Log back in. Go to Elastic Beanstalk. This is the dashboard of Amazon Elastic Beanstalk. Amazon Elastic Beanstalk is easy to use service for deploying and scaling web application and services developed with Java, .NET, PHP, Node.js, Python, Ruby, Go, and Docker on familiar servers such as Apache, Passenger, and IIS. So get started. Create an application. There are 6 steps. First is configure environment. Second is configure services access. Third is set up networking database and tags. Fourth step is configure instance traffic and scaling. Fifth step is configure updates, monitoring, and logging. And in the last preview. So first and second step is mandatory, and the last 4 steps are optional. So first is configure environment. Environment tier. Amazon Elastic Beanstalk has 2 types of environment tiers to support different type of web application. That is web server environment and worker environment. Web server environment is used to run a website, web application, or web API that serves HTTP requests. It works like a front end. And next is worker environment. It is used to run a worker application that processes long-running workloads on demand or perform tasks on a schedule. It works like a backend. Next, we have to give our application name. Application tags are optional. We apply up to 50 tags. Next is environment information. The name given to our application, same the environment name. But in the last here is env means environment. Next, we have to give domain name XYZ ABC. We have to check availability. It is available or not. It is available. Next is environment description. Next, platform. There are 2 types of platform, managed platform and custom platform. Managed platforms published and maintained by Amazon Elastic Beanstalk, and custom platform are created and owned by us. So we select managed platform, then choose a platform. I choose Python. Here is the platform branch name, then platform version. Application code. There are 3 types of application code: sample application, existing version, and upload your code. So we use sample application, and here are presets. For free tier, we use single instance. If we paid for this, we use single instance using support instances. So next. Here are the configure services access. Services access. IAM roles assumed by Elastic Beanstalk as a service role, and EC2 instance profiles allow Elastic Beanstalk to create and manage your environment. So there are 2 service roles: create and use new service role, or use an existing service role. And here EC2 key pair and EC2 instance profile. So move to the next. Next is set up networking database and tags. Here we create our own VPC subnet in the VPC management console, and instance settings and database settings. These settings are optional. So move back to our presentation. Next is difference between EC2 instance and Elastic Beanstalk. EC2 instance provide resizable compute capacity in the cloud, and we have full control over the underlying servers, including the choice of operating system or network system, etc. But in Elastic Beanstalk, it is a platform as a service offering from AWS. When we deploy our application, Elastic Beanstalk automatically handles load balancing, auto scaling, and application health monitoring. Move to the next slide. That is alternatives of AWS Elastic Beanstalk. First is Heroku. Heroku is a cloud application platform and for Ruby, Rails, Node.js, Java, Python, Scala, and closer web apps. Everything you need to build, run, and scale. Here, it uses the enterprise-grade Postgres as a service database and run virtually any language at any scale. Next is Google App Engine. Google App Engine is another way of building super scalable applications, but is more efficient than AWS Elastic Beanstalk. This is fully managed serverless platform and the needs for manual infrastructure management. It has a good range of developer tools for your use, just like AWS Elastic Beanstalk. It also goes well with Node.js, Java, C#, PHP, Ruby, Python, and other language runtimes. And next is Amazon Elastic Container Service, means Amazon ECS. It is a fully managed container orchestration service that help you easily deploy, manage, and scale containerized application. So move to the next slides. This is conclusion. Now, AWS Elastic Beanstalk simplifies the process of deploying and managing application in the cloud. It addresses the challenge that faced in the past, providing an easy and effectively way to bring application to the online world. By abstracting away complex infrastructure management, Elastic Beanstalk empower developer to focus on creating exceptional application without getting down in technical intricacies by providing automation, scalability, and integrated monitoring. Move to the next slide. This is the reference slide. If you have any question, please ask me. Thank you. I am done, sir.
Okay, Rinki, you are done, right? I have a few questions. Like you haven't uploaded any code.
Sorry, sir.
You haven't uploaded any code on the environment. Why is that? During the presentation, demo.
Demonstration.
Yeah. You
Sir,
left in
actually,
halfway.
yeah, sir. Actually, I am suffering from typhoid from last 2 weeks. So,
So yeah, today was your deadline.
yeah.
Okay. Because demonstration is essential for this one, and it mostly based on demonstration. So I thought you should have completed that. And I have one more question.
Yes.
That is, while updating the environment, will it be available?
Sorry, sir. Please.
While updating, for an example, take the environment is on update. Will it be available or will it be offline?
Available or offline?
Yeah, while updating.
It's available.
No, it will not be available. While you software update your laptop, is it available for you?
No, it's
exactly. Exactly. It will not be available. Okay, because it's on a totally depend on the computer, and the computer is already on update, so it will not be available, and it's a cloud service, so it will not be available. Okay. Okay, everything else was fine.
Okay, sir.
Try to add a little story.
Okay, sir.
Okay, everything else was fine.
Thank you, sir.
You can stop sharing the screen. Next, we have Nandini.
Yes, sir.
Nandini, you can start your presentation.
So am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Okay.
Turn your camera on.
Okay, sir, wait a minute.
Nandini,
So
is your
is it visible?
presentation scheduled for today?
Yes, sir.
I don't see your name in the list.
So, but I scheduled it for today.
Did you got the mail?
Yes, sir. So, Anshita ma'am told me to join the other meeting, so I joined this one.
No, no, it's not about the meeting link. It's about the name. Your name is not in the list.
Sir, actually,
So,
the last time I joined Anshita ma'am's group, but the time ran out, so she
okay,
said
okay.
ki,
So when was last time it was scheduled for? For which date?
so, so for next Friday, last Friday.
Last Friday. Last Friday was 18. Because if I can't see your name, I can't review your presentation.
So my name is not there.
Yeah, just wait a second. I will search. Yeah, you can start. Got it. You can start.
So my screen is visible or not?
Yes, it's it.
So good evening, sir. My name is Nandini Panawar, and digital marketing is my domain. And my today's topic is using Facebook Graph API Explorer to retrieve inside data. So first we have to understand what is API Graph Explorer with the example of Facebook's. So the Facebook API Grapher is a powerful tool for data retrieval, and it allows a digital marketer to access users' data, gain insights for better targeting. In this presentation, we will explore the capabilities of Facebook Graph API and how it is can benefit our business. So what is the Facebook API graph and how it works? So the Facebook graph API is a data retrieval tool that allows developer to access user data from Facebook's database. It is a RESTful interface, and we can retrieve data in various formats such as JSON, XML with Facebook graph API. In digital marketers can access users data and insights for better targeting and advertising strategies. Next is what is accessing users data. So we can use it for Facebook graph APIs as allow us for marketers to use data such as profile information, likes, comment, and share. The data can be used to create targeted ad and improve marketing strategies. However, it is important to compile with Facebook's data policies and regulations. The next is the next is insights and analysis. So in insights and analysis, page performance, ad campaigns, reach, impression, and engagements are the key points. So when Facebook API Grapher provides insights and analytics for page information, it create the web looks more effective. And the ads campaign digital marketer can track metrics such as engagement, reach, and impressions to evaluate the effectiveness for the marketing strategies. This data can be optimized future campaigns and improve RIO. Uh, so the next is challenges and limitations. So while Facebook graph API is a powerful tool for data retrieval, there are some challenges and limitations to consider. These are included of access restrictions. So what is access restrictions? So access restriction can control the reading and editing of the database. For example, the current user is able to read and edit a database object only if the access restrictions allow them to perform these actions. And next is data privacy. Data privacy is the protection of personal data from those who have not access to it, and the ability of individuals to determine who can access their personal information. Second is API changes. So the API changes the technical term. The file was altered by an add-in or inverted API, or is we can say in the segment where the add-in specific data was stored. The next is conclusion. So the conclusion is a Facebook API graph is a valuable tool for digital marketers to assess users' data and gain insights, for marketers to assess users' data and gain insights. Better targeting and advertising strategy. While there are challenges and limitations to consider, staying up to date with Facebook's policy and regulations can help ensure compliance to avoid a potential issue. Uh, that's it from my side. If anybody has any question, they can ask. Thank you, sir.
Are you done, Nandini?
Yes, sir.
First of all, I want to say you that try to add a totally different Q&A slide.
Sir, can you give me one example of Q&A? Because my domain is digital marketing, so I don't have any idea what kind of
No,
Q&A
no,
should I
just
do.
add a different slide. Like thank you slide different and Q&A slide different.
Okay.
Separate the both slides, okay? Yeah, and I want to know why didn't you present in any demos like this type of data I have collected, or you can go on web and show that this is data is collected on this chain. Like for example, on Facebook, I'm promoting a restaurant.
Okay. Okay.
So how many people can see in the area? Like I have done digital marketing, I know, and they have a very specific data. Like you have to select area, you have to select city, you have to select the like tags, words, restaurant area, where is the restaurant located, locations, nearby famous places. So they present data. So why haven't you presented that data?
Sir, I don't know much about it. I think that the theory is
But
enough.
you are
So
learning, right?
yes, sir.
Yeah. So you
Currently
have to
learning.
try, or you have to research on that.
Okay, sir.
So next time, try to demonstrate it. Okay.
Okay, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. You everything else was fine.
Thank you, sir.
Next, we have Tejaswini. You can stop sharing the screen.
Sir, am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Um, Sir, my camera is not working. Is that okay for this first one?
No, no.
1 minute.
Camera working is compulsory. You have to try to rejoin.
Okay, sir, 1 minute.
Yes, Tejaswini.
Audible and
Yeah,
visible.
yeah, you are audible and visible. You can start.
Okay, sir. Is my screen visible?
Yes, it's visible.
Okay, so good evening, everyone. I'm Tejaswini, and today I'll be presenting on the topic of software testing fundamentals. So the agenda for today is going to be introduction to the topic, then software testing types, software testing techniques. Then we'll learn about software development lifecycle as well as software testing lifecycle. And finally, the summary. So the introduction. What do we actually mean by a software? So a software is a set of programs or instruction to operate on a computer. And it is mainly divided into two types. First one is the role of a developer, and the second one is the role of a tester. So the developer is the person who develops the programs and the applications that we use. But the role of a tester is to test the software and then remove the bugs. So software testing is the process of verifying as well as validating whether a software or an application is bug-free. He should also check if the software meets the technical requirements as guided by the design and development process, as well as meets the user requirements and handles all the exception and the boundary cases. So the aim is to measure the specification, the functionality, as well as the performance to improve the software in terms of efficiency, accuracy, and usability. Now we come to the classification of the software techniques. There are two broad classifications. The first one is manual testing and the second one is automation testing. So in manual testing, you are manually testing whether or not without using any automation script, the tester is assumed to be an end user and it tests the software to identify any unexpected behavior or bug. So the stages of manual testing is unit testing, integration testing, system testing, and user acceptance testing. And we use test plans, test cases, or test scenarios to test the software to ensure the completeness of the testing. There are advantages like no programming knowledge required, if it's suitable, if the requirements are constantly changing, and it ensures 100% bug-free, cost effectiveness, easy to learn for new testers. However, the disadvantage is that it requires a lot of human resource as well as a lot of time. Next, we come to automation testing. Here, the tester writes the script and uses other software tools to test the product. And it also automates manual processes or recurring processes. Here, the advantages are you test the application from a load, performance, and stress point of view. You increase the test coverage and improve accuracy. This is because you can test a lot of cases, so you get more accurate. And here you can rerun the test scenarios quickly and repeatedly, and this process also saves time. However, the disadvantages include very expensive costs, limited to certain organizations only. It requires additional trained and skilled people, and it removes the mechanical execution of the testing process. Now we come to the types of software testing techniques. We've got three techniques: black box testing, white box testing, and gray box testing, excuse me. So in black box testing, it is conducted at the software level interface based on the requirements and the functionality. The tester doesn't have access to the source code of the software, and also the internal workings of the application are not required. This is done on a trial and error basis, and it includes the user, the tester, as well as the developer. This black box testing is also known as closed box or data-driven testing. Now we come to white box testing. The tester is aware of the internal workings of the product. He or she has access to the source code. The data domains and the internal boundaries can be better tested. This is normally done by testers and developers only. And white box testing is also known as clear box or structural testing. Finally, we come to gray box testing. It is a combination of both black and white box testing, and the performance, it is performed by a person who is adept in both coding as well as testing. Now we come to software development lifecycle and software testing lifecycle. So software development lifecycle is done by the developer, not the tester. And it is the development of the software for a very distinct purpose. It is a set of activities that are carried by the analyst, the designer, and the developer, as well as the tester to develop and implement the system. It is a series of steps to be followed to develop the application or the software, and it ensures that the end product is able to meet the requirements of the customer. There are 6 stages in this. The first stage is the planning and the requirement analysis. So your planning is the setting the stage for how your software is going to be developed, and your requirement analysis includes customer inputs and from the sales and marketing department based on the software. And this information, the information from this analysis is forms the building blocks for your basis of the project. Next comes the defining requirement stage. All the requirements for the target software are specified here, and the requirements get approved from the customer, the market analyst, and the stakeholders of the software. Now, this is fulfilled by using an SRS, which is a software requirement specification document. And this specifies all the things that need to be defined and created during the entire project cycle. Stage 3 is designing the architecture. With the requirements in the SRS, your multiple designs for the product architecture are presented in the design document specification or the DDS. So now the DDS is assessed by the market analyst and the stakeholders. Stage 4 is the developing project stage. Now the fundamental development of the product starts here. The developers use a specific programming code as per the design and the DDS. And it is important for the coders to follow the protocols by the association. Now, conventional programming tools like compilers, interpreters, and debuggers are used in this stage. And many popular languages like C, C++, Python, and Java are put to use. Stage 5 is product testing and integration. This ensures the smooth execution of the product development. At this stage, all the probable flaws are tracked, fixed, as well as retested. This ensures that the product confronts the quality requirements of the SRS document. Stage 6 and the final stage is the deployment and maintenance of the product. So after detailed testing, the conclusive product is released as per the organization's requirement. And after it is released, we get the feedbacks from the customers and the stakeholders. After this, it is again re-evaluated, and then the software is continuously maintained. Now we come to software testing lifecycle. This is done by the tester, not the developer in the previous case. So the characteristics of STLS is that it is a part of a software development lifecycle, but it consists of only the testing phase. STLS starts as soon as the requirements are defined or the software requirement document is shared by the stakeholders. This yields a step-by-step process to ensure quality software. There are 6 phases in this as well. First one is requirement analysis, where the quality assurance team understands the requirements for testing. You're reviewing the SRD document and other related documents. You're interviewing the stakeholder to gather the information that is required. You're analyzing the missing or incomplete requirements, and you're identifying any potential risk or issues that may impact the testing process. Next is the test planning. This is the most efficient phase of the testing cycle, where all the test plans are defined. In this phase, the manager of the testing team calculates the estimated effort and the cost for testing the work. You're identifying the testing objective and the scope. You're developing a test strategy, identifying the test environment and the resource needed, the test cases that will be executed and the test data that will be used, identifying the test deliverables and the milestones, and as well as assigning roles and responsibilities to the testing team. Stage 3 is test case development. Here, the testing team notes down the detailed test cases. You're identifying the test case that will be developed, writing the test case that is clear, concise, and easy to understand, creating the test data and the test scenarios that will be used in the test case, identifying the expected results for each test case, and reviewing and validating the test cases. Stage 4 is test environment setup. The test environment decides the conditions on which the software is tested. This is an independent activity and can be started along with test case development. The testing team is not involved over here. Next comes the test execution. In this phase, the testing team starts executing the test cases based on the prepared test case in the earlier steps. Here it includes test execution, defect logging, that is any defects that are found are they're made a record of. Then the test data preparation, the test environment setup, the test result analysis. This is very important to determine the performance of the software. Next is the defect retesting. So all the defects that were logged previously are retested again. Then test reporting. This is the final stage. The test results are documented and reported to the relevant stakeholders. Next is test closure. In the final stage of STLS, that is software testing lifecycle, where all the testing related activities are completed and it is documented. The main objective here is to ensure that all testing related activities have been completed and that the software is ready for its release. So the summary of my topic is that software testing is a crucial quality assurance process in the software development cycle, and it involves systematically evaluating a program's functionality, its performance, and its reliability. It includes a variety of techniques like unit testing, integration testing, system testing, mainly to identify the defects and to ensure that the software meets the specific requirements of the stakeholders or the customers. The goal is to uncover bugs and inconsistencies, providing developers with a valuable feedback for refinement. Effective testing minimizes the risk of defects reaching the end user, and it contributes to the creation of a stable, high-quality software. Continuous testing practices are essential throughout the development cycle to maintain software integrity and deliver a satisfactory user experience. That is it from my side. Now, this is a question and answer session. If anyone has any doubts, they can reach to me using this email ID. Thank you.
Are you done?
Yes, sir.
I have a few questions. What if a bug is found?
What if?
A bug is found.
So that is the main role of the tester. So once the bug is found, he has to go back and trace where the fault lies, and then again test different cases like edge and boundary cases. That helps us to find if there are any bugs. And then he has to correct it and then deploy it again.
Okay. And so what if a bug is found after it's published to public?
So that is what I mentioned here. There is continuous testing and evaluation going on. Not just that if it's deployed, then the testing stops. Even after
how
it is...
will be the bug fixed in the public? Like I have downloaded the app.
Huh?
Now it's crashing and it's a
Okay.
bug. So you fixed it on your side, but how it will be given to me that update?
The update given to the customer.
How will it be provided? How will be the newer version will be provided to me?
I mean, like there are different versions that are constantly being released, like by various apps. So there's a dedicated team that monitors the software even after it is deployed. So then once they get to know those bugs, they will rectify all that and then release a new version so that people get the better version of the software.
Yeah, right. It will be like if you update any app, you update it through Play Store. So a new version will be updated on the Play Store. So I will update it and the bug will be fixed.
Yeah.
I guess. Okay. Try to reduce the text.
Okay.
From slide.
Okay.
Like for it's too small and it's too much. Just keep the points and explain them.
Okay.
Okay. And try to add a little story to the starting.
Okay. Like an example, like how do I include?
Yeah, example. just like an example.
Okay.
Okay.
Fine. Okay.
Yeah, and try to add some more pictures. I know you got it starting and at end, but try to add some pictures in between also.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, and your flow was good and everything else was good.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, you can stop sharing your screen. Next we have Prajakta. Prajakta, you can start your presentation.
Is this my screen is visible, sir?
Yes, your screen is visible.
Good evening, sir. My name is Prajakta Patil and my project name is Future Location Predictions. Firstly, this is the content. What is the future prediction and task introduction? After that, application. What is data IQ and why we are used? After that, we will see lasso regression, XGBoost. After that, we will see the demonstration of my project, project workflow, conclusion, and question answer session. Firstly, we will see what is the future location prediction. It involves by using data and algorithm to find where is an object, person, or event might be located at a specific point in time in the future. Let's understand better with the example. The example of future location prediction is the predicting traffic congestion by analyzing the past traffic patterns or weather conditions. This information can be used to optimize routes and suggest the paths for the drivers. Uh, Next one, these are the some applications. First one in the business, it is used for the target the customers for marketing. In disaster management, it is used to predict the natural disasters like floods, earthquakes. After that, improved transportation. Uh, it will use to predict traffic pattern for optimize the transport system. After that, we will see what is the data IQ. Data IQ is a platform for machine learning that enables organization to create and uh, manage data project effectively. It provides tools for data preparation, visualization, and model deployment. After that, we will see what is the AWS. AWS is the Amazon Web Cloud Service. It will provided by the Amazon. It offers cloud services that allow individuals, businesses, and organizations to access computing resources like server, storage, machine learning, networking, and much more. There are some roles of AWS. First one is scale and flexibility, efficient, security and compliance, management services, and data storage. Next one is the uh, uh, why lasso. Lasso is the least absolute shrinkage and selection operator. It is regression technique used in ML. It is particularly useful when dealing with the high dimensional dataset where the number of features is larger than the number of observations. After that, we will see the XGBoost. XGBoost is the extreme gradient boosting. It is also popular in machine learning. It is widely used for both regression and classification. These are some resources, why favored, high accuracy, enable learning, feature importance, and handling non-literacy, and high performance. This is the demonstration of my project. First, we need to go to console.aws.amazon.com website, and then we have login into your account through your email ID and password. Then we have go to E2 instance and create a new instance. After that, search data IQ, and after searching, go to view instance and copy the uh, sorry. After that, copy the ID address and paste it. After that, click on this continue. After that, the process is start, and the instance is our instance is launching. After, we need to register with our name and email ID, then accept the condition, and then click on the next button. So after that, click to the get started. Then we need to log in, and after the login, we have click on the blank project, and we need to create a new project and give the project name is future location prediction system, and also project name is future location prediction system. Then we need to create the new project. After that, we upload our file where user data is present. After that, we need to create a new data set. This is our input features: ID, event time start, event time end, latitude start, longitude start, latitude end, and longitude end. And after that, we need to choose the algorithm for our project. Then then we choose the lasso regression on, and all of remainings are set to off. Then go to matrices, and here are the some informations. After that, we go to feature handling, and we need to click event time start, event time end, latitude start, and longitude start is on, and remainings are off. Then go to waiting strategy, give the name and click on the train. This is after that, training will be start. This is our model information. Uh, Here are the some time, date, or all project details is displayed here. Then we generate the model. Click on the create. This is our model present the uh, latitude and longitude algorithm. This is our resulted data set. After that, we go to setting. Here is the message displayed, uh, job is succeed. And this is our training model information. Here are the some new columns are added, like error decile, absolute error decide, relative error, and prediction is also displayed here. And this is our new created model, contains latitude database, and second contains latitude matrix. After that, we need to go the algorithms and keep deep neural networks off, and remaining all are on. Then we will evaluate performance by clicking evaluation. There will be predict how many are correct prediction. And in the last, this is our combined module, latitude and longitude. This is a conclusion. We use Lasolat's algorithm to predict the latitude, and we use XGBoost algorithm to use the predict the longitude. Both of these algorithms are suitable for giving us the best accuracy of the predict model. And this is my contact information to reach me. Thank you.
Are you done, Prajakta?
Yes.
First of all, I want to say separate Q&A slide and thank you slide.
Okay.
Both slides should be different, okay?
Okay, sir.
And for the you have present. It's about a prediction, right?
Yes, sir.
So, what do you think? What will be the accuracy rate of that?
80% in the training ratio and 20% is testing ratio.
Okay. Okay. Everything else was good.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Yeah. And try to add some light in your.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. Okay. Since we don't have any presenters, we end our today's presentation session. And if anybody have any queries, you can ask. So nobody is present, and that concludes our discussion session. Good evening. Thank you.